So yesterday we did some graphing and we learned some things. If I saw these symbols, I did what kind of drawing on my line? Dashed. If I was to see these symbols, then I would draw a solid line. Okay, so that was one major thing we learned yesterday.
Can we start on our notes for these then? Like our cheat sheet?
You can start on them whenever you want.
I just wondering if we have a special paper.
No, it's just a paper of your own.
Can I have a paper, please?
Yes. But when I start my exam review with you, I will do like pausing and be like, hey, what do you want to write on there? What do you want to write on there? Okay, then we learned if you divide by a negative, what did you ever do? You would have to flip your sign around, okay? So those are the three big ideas kind of that we learned yesterday. Okay. Two examples here. So this one, I don't like the algebra of it. I need y alone. So what are you going to have to do here? You're going to have to add x. Okay. Ready? Let's graph it right away. And when I graph it, it's going to be a solid line. Okay, so graphing it. Which side of this line do I want to be on? I need to be greater than it. Which side? The penny side or the whiteout side is the greater than side? The penny. So I'm actually just going to give myself, I'm not going to shade right now. I'm going to give myself some arrows. Okay? I'm going to end up being on that side of the line. Okay. Now we're going to go to the next line. So this one is ready to go because y is alone. So just go for the type. Negative 3x plus 1. Graph it. Get me some points with your trace. Negative 3x plus 1. I have the coordinate 0, 1. I picked another coordinate, 2, negative 5 came up when I pushed trace 2. What kind of line do you want to do here? You got your dashed or your solid. Which one is this one? What does this symbol mean? Less. So dashed. You can't be on it. You're not allowed to be on the line. You can't be equal to the line. So dashed. Okay, which side do you want to be on for this line? It says to be less than this line. So I'll give you your two options again. Which side of this line do I want to be on that's angling downward? Is it the penny side or the whiteout side? The whiteout is angling down. So I'm going to be below this line like this. So where am I going to shade that's going to work for both lines now? It has to be on the one side and the other side. So which section works? Any coordinate in this zone will work. Because I had to be below this line, but at the same time I had to be above that line. Okay, so I'm going to show you in my calculator if you want to do kind of everything here. Here's what I did. So I had the two equations going on at the same time. I did one in y1 and one in y2. And I went over to this area and pushed enter until I got the triangle I wanted. Do you understand which the above triangle means greater than and the below triangle means less than? So if you want to do this on your calculator, this was what it would look like. And then when I graph, it shades one way, shades the other way, and can you see which region got double shaded? And did that match our answer? This zone is double shaded.
What did you put in the calculator again?
So the two equations, and then I went over to this area and I pushed enter a bunch of times to change what that looked like. Okay, do we like that, or do we like just kind of by hand and shading it? Doesn't matter to me. But that's what it matches. Okay, you ready for another one? Okay, we have a y equals line here, so I'm going to clear my calculator and go x plus 3 and graph it. So this is the line y equals x plus 3. When I draw this line, I should probably start by thinking, is this a dashed or a solid? Dashed. This one's solid, by the way. I'm just going to write this already. This one's a dashed. This one would be solid. Okay, so can we draw this line dashed? So get me some points with your trace. So 0, 3. So there's that line from my calculator, and it's dashed. Okay, this needs to be less than this line. Less than. Which side is less? The pink side or the orange side? The orange side is less. I'm just going to give myself some arrows to tell myself. I just need to remind myself to be that way. Okay, because I don't know where to shade completely yet. Okay, here's something new. X. There's no y in this equation. I can't put it in my calculator. Okay, your calculator won't do this because there's no y. Can you draw me a point that would have an x value of 4? Anywhere. Just draw me a point that has an x value of 4. Any point. Can you draw me a second point? Anywhere. Anywhere a second point that has an x value of 4. What kind of special line is it going to make? Straight line up and down, a vertical one, and it's solid. So in grade 10, you learned x equals lines go straight up and down. And you learned that y equals go flat. Do you remember that from grade 10? We've been doing this one a lot this year on our calculators though, right? Remember we always do y2 and we have a flat line? We do that a lot. Okay, so there's our solid vertical line. And we need to be, which direction? This says greater or less. What does it say? Less. So, orange or yellow side? This side. So I need to be, I'm going to give myself some arrows. Okay, so this region works, but I'm not going to shade it yet. This region works in here, but there's something going on. What does this say? Whole numbers. So I can't have negative numbers. I can't have decimal numbers. So guess what's going to work? Only these values. So I need to draw, and it's called stippling or stipling or something like that. So when you draw a bunch of the dots to say these are the values that work. So in that zone, but then I had to restrict it to just whole numbers, okay? Otherwise I would have shaded all this like a triangle area.